Yeah, now I'll speak to that. Just some words of encouragement. You're talking to a grown man who's cried many nights because it's hard. When I tell you, and I get emotional right now because if half the people know what I have to fight night in and night out, the different type of warfares that I get, how many type of witches observe me, the type of warfare I go through, like this thing is real. And I tell people, man, God never said it was going to be easy. He never said in his word it was going to be easy. The good thing is, he said, fight the good fight of faith. We got to take these fundamental truths as in our word that says, build up our most holy faith. We got to start doing these fundamental things to help us. Because I tell you right now, it's never going to be easy. The easiest day you're going to have is when you pass over into glory. Because the closer you get to money, the closer you get to impact, the closer you get to being a better mom, the closer you get to that, they don't want that. This right now in this realm, it's time out for games now. They done changed the chapter. Right now, this warfare is going to be 10 times harder, 10 times heavier, 10 times strenuous because we're getting close. If you were an idiotic individual like Satan, and you're doing the same things over again, and you know for a fact Jesus is coming back, you know for a fact your time is up. So what they're doing is they're increasing the demonic warfare through media, increasing demonic warfare through music. That's why I don't listen to every song, because they're putting curses on us. They're making it too hard. They're messing with your pineal gland. They're messing with all your, they playing with us like we're lab rats, because they know for a fact the more unplugged you are, the clearer you are, the more impactful you become. Fight through it. Oh, it's going to be tough. But the good thing about this life is that you have God with you. And he finds a way to make you laugh in the midst of pressure. He always finds a way to say, I promised you my peace. He said, I'll give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. Meaning that his peace you can't comprehend. Why am I feeling peaceful when I should be feeling chaotic? Why am I feeling like everything's going to be all right, but everything's not all right? That's a crazy dichotomy when it comes to God. How can I feel like everything's going to be all right, but everything hasn't been all right for months? But God said, I'm not bound by time. I'm above time. So what he says is, oh, that was just 3 months. Oh, that's just 6 months. She's going to be all right. Not like he doesn't care, but he's saying, these light afflictions are only but for a moment. Listen, when you know for a fact that it's done, that what Jesus did on the cross has settled it, that he is coming back, that I can do my best and he'll do the rest, God's not asking for perfection. So don't try to succeed and try to get A pluses. Listen, we see students. Christians are C.D. students. Only person that had straight A's was Jesus. The rest of us are D, C's, and F students. The greatest preachers, the greatest men that walk with God were probably C pluses. If realistic, because perfection is perfection. But if you trust in the process, you trust in the molding, you trust in the miracle work of God, you'll be like, you know what, these afflictions are light. That's why community is important. Surround yourself with strong women who can pray you through. You got to develop your prayer life. Listen, they're going to come after your prayer life first. That's the reason why we go days without praying. Because it's crazy. I tell people, if prayer doesn't work, then why don't we do it? If prayer doesn't work, why is it the number one thing out of our lives? If prayer didn't work, keep praying. That's why I'm shocked at atheists. Why do y'all care so much? If there's no God, why do you care so much? So my thing is, if you don't feel like praying, pray. Because if you find it the hardest to pray, that's when you should pray your hardest. Because you're that close. You saw the meme where there was two, it's not a meme, it's like a cartoon, and there was two people. The dude on top was whacking through, but the little dude right here, he was about one whack away from the diamonds, but he walked away. They love that. They love when you get close and you stop and you walk away. That probably makes them even more happy. Because they know for a fact, do you know how close you were? Because you know what? Daniel was praying. and he couldn't even see what was happening. Could your angel be this close, but you stop? Could you be that close to a breakthrough, but you stop? That's why I say keep going. Pray until something happens, and pray pray to sustain what happens. Pray no matter what. Always pray. Now I know it's tough, and it's going to be tough for a lot of you guys. That's why it sucks. You know why it sucks? Because y'all were lied to for years. Your best day now. You're going to make it. Everything's going to be great. Everybody gets a Bugatti and $1 billion. Everybody's going to have a cattle and 1,000. Everybody's going to have a mansion. Everybody's going to be all right. Man, they never tell you the process because the process is not sexy enough. The ending sounds good. You felt great. Collect the offering. The pastor's rich. He's good. Everybody's living good, but you out here poured in the mug. But what we got to understand is that it's not going to be easy. But it's going to be worth it. Because when I open that door to that mansion in heaven and I put that recliner back, I'm going to be like, it was good. I'm glad it was over. I'm glad I went through what I went through because I made it. So I hope that encouraged you. It's going to be tough, man. Keep being the best mom you can. Be the best Fallon you can. I just said your name out loud. Be the best Florisha possible. Be the best, that's not even a name, but be the best person you can be. That's all I do. God is asking for you to do the best that you can, and he'll do the rest. But your best should not be lower than your last best. You should always keep being better. Even if you move a small percentage, God cares when you make a 1% change. 1% is better than no percent change. I'd rather be at 1% than 0%. So I hope that helped. Next question.